10 o'clock on Monday, May 19th, and I'll call to order the regular meeting of the Technical Advisory Committee of the Bismarck-Mandan Metropolitan Planning Organization. Stephen, can we begin with a roll call, please?
Ben Arith,
Here.
Dan Shriak, Deidre Hughes,
Here.
Gabe Schell,
Here.
Greg Fazer,
Here.
Jarek Wiggness,
Here.
John Saki,
Here.
Logan Beasy,
Here.
Mitch Flanagan,
Here.
Will Hutchins,
Here.
Chair Ripple.
Here. Thank you. We'll begin with a review and possible approval of the minutes from the April 14th meeting. Are there any corrections or additions to the minutes? And if not, is there a motion to approve the minutes?
Is Gabe so moved?
We have a first. Is there a second?
Deidre, I'll second.
Deidre, second. And a roll call vote, please.
Ben Arith,
Yes.
Deidre Hughes,
Yes.
Gabe Schell,
Yes.
Greg Fazer,
Yes.
Jarek Wiggness,
Yes.
John Saki,
Yes.
Logan Beasy,
Yes.
Mitch Flanagan,
Yes.
Will Hutchins,
Yes.
Chair Ripple.
Yes, minutes are approved as presented. Moving on to item number 2 on the agenda, it is a fiscal year 2026 Recreational Trails Program applications, and Stephen Larson is going to present those to us today.
Thank you, Chair. Give me just one moment. All right, so the North Dakota Parks and Recreation District recently solicited for applications to the fiscal year 26 Recreational Trails Program, or RTP. They opened solicitation on April 1st and accepted applications through April 13th. Applications for projects that are within the MPO area require an MPO letter of support. The Park District requires this as part of the application, but this can be added to applications after the application window. So for this year's solicitation, we received 2 applications, one from the Bismarck Parks and Recreation District, which is Exhibit B, and one from the Lincoln Park District, Exhibit C. And there is a summary of these projects for you on Exhibit A. I will give a brief description of each application for you today. So the first project is a Bismarck project. This is proposed as the Cottonwood Park South Trail Connection. It would be a rehabilitation of shared use trail connections within the southern portion of Cottonwood Park. The project includes 5,901 linear feet of 10-foot wide shared use trail that is currently aged and cracking, including 176 linear feet of trail that needs to be removed and replaced. This proposed project is located within one of Bismarck's most popular parks. The proposed cost estimate is $306,516, and the federal RTP request is $245,213. And I will note that Bismarck did provide a few slides for this, noting that this area provides accessible routes to the ADA fishing pier at the Cottonwood Pond, connections to the Hidden Star Park and neighborhoods to the west of the park, and links to sports fields, playgrounds, and spectator areas. They also provided just kind of a nice map overlaying the project area and some images of the current condition of the trail. Are there any questions on the project application, or would the Bismarck representative have anything to add about the project?
Thank you, Stephen. We do have a representative from Bismarck Parks and Rec. Nothing additional. Any questions from the board for Stephen right now on this application? No? All right. Why don't we carry on?
So then the second application from the Lincoln Park District, this is a 66th Street Southeast Pathway project. The proposed project is to construct a 10-foot wide gravel pathway starting at Santee Road, going south along the west side of 66th Street, ending at the South City limits, approximately 180 feet south of Humbert Drive. The project will include topsoil stripping, common excavation and earthwork to establish ADA compliance grades, compaction of in-site soils, and placement of a 6-inch gravel base with an alternative to pave if the funding allows. This will include ADA compliance at 2 street crossings with concrete panel and truncated domes to warn users of crossings. The cost for this is estimated at $129,807, with a federal share requested of $103,840. And Lincoln, of course, submitted their application. It is a little bit difficult to see on the screen, but there are more details contained in that Exhibit C. Are there any questions from the boards on this project?
I had 2 questions. So noting that this is an ADA compliant route, but it's listed as a gravel pathway, it seems kind of inherently not in sync, because gravel pathway with a wheelchair is not always the most easy to traverse. Do you know if the long-term intent is to just grade this and make it possible to have pavement later, so then the whole route becomes ADA compliant? And I might be wrong about ADA compliance, so I'd welcome any correction if there is any. And then the other question is, if you look at the pictures, you can see some really well-worn routes where ATVs have been using the ditch section to traverse for recreational purposes. And so I'm wondering if this application, or if they noted anything about including signage to prevent people who shouldn't be on the gravel pathway, which is intended for bikes and peds, and not having ATVs on it. If you don't know, I understand.
Thanks. Well, I was hoping that one of the Lincoln reps would be here. They would be better suited to answer those questions. I could certainly inquire. My understanding is that they are, at the very least, trying to set this project up so that it can be paved, either immediately if their funding goes further than they expected, or in the near future if they need to do it as a separate project. So the first question, my understanding is that they would like to have it paved if possible. As far as the second, I'm not sure. I would have to see what their signage plans are as part of the application.
Ben, please.
Yeah, Stephen, thanks for the presentation, and maybe Greg knows this too, but I was just looking at the project limits, and do you know if the trail or the proposed trail connects into any existing bicycle pedestrian facilities? And I'm particularly interested on the south side where it goes past Humboldt Drive, but just seems to end somewhere south of Humboldt Drive. What does that link into?
This is Greg Fazer, city engineer for Lincoln. Yeah, at the south end off of Humbert Drive, that would be kind of a dead end at this time. The goal is to just get it tie in there, just picking a stopping point. To the previous questions, the goal is to be able to get the gravel down, and based on funding, like Stephen had mentioned, then to follow up with the pavement and that. The signage I'm not as clear on, but I believe they were including some of that as well. But
Thanks, Greg.
Thank you, Greg, for stating those clarifications and maybe shedding a little light on this application for us. That's appreciated. Good questions. Are there any other questions from the board regarding the Lincoln application, Gabe?
Maybe as a follow-up to the north, Greg, it stops at Santee Road, and I don't know if the map displays that there's anything north of there, but can you maybe elaborate on that piece of it too?
so at Santee, it does stop at the road. There is some sidewalk on the north side. You can't really see it here, but part of just Lincoln's overall development, they generally do not have sidewalks, especially in the older parts of town. All new developments are required to have sidewalks, though, so it's part of starting to kind of link some of this stuff together and kind of move things forward. They're trying to create some routes to tie the like the school to businesses and things like that. So this will help with that as well. As you are down by Humbert Road in that area, that's a newer development. That development has sidewalks as things are going in. So. Thank you.
And one follow-up question. Stephen, can you explain the process with these RTP projects? Sounds like they already solicited for them, and we're being asked to review and recommend support to the policy board at this time?
That's correct, Will. So typically, the application window for these is fairly short and does not always fit into our meeting schedule. So the Park District has accommodated that by allowing applicants to seek MPO support after application submittal. So yes, both of these applications were already submitted to the Park District, but the districts are, seeking our support as part of their application process.
And one follow-up, no determination has been made as to whether or not these were awarded at this time?
No, that will probably be, I think that the window is usually about 6 months down the road before anything is awarded.
I'd just like to add a clarification to that as well. We do not prioritize these projects in any way. We are only asked to review them, make sure that they're consistent with the goals and objectives of our MTP, and then to basically consent to their approval. And at such time that they would be awarded, then we make sure that we're including those into our TIP and making sure that they're programmed. Are there any other questions regarding the RTP projects that have been brought before us or the process that's in place in general? If not, staff would be looking for a motion of recommendation to the policy board to approve one or both of these to the North Dakota Parks and Recreation District for consideration.
This is Ben. I would move approval to recommend both projects to North Dakota, I guess it's the Parks and Recreation Department,
Yes, it is.
who administers this program.
Okay, thanks, Ben. We have a motion for approval. Is there a second?
This is Greg. I'll second.
Thanks, Greg. Roll call, please, Stephen.
It's Ben Arith,
Yes.
Deidre Hughes,
Yes.
Gabe Schell,
Yes.
Greg Fazer,
Yes.
Jarek Wickness,
Yes.
John Sackey,
Yes.
Logan Beasy,
Yes.
Mitch Flanagan,
Yes.
Will Hutchins,
Yes.
Chair Ripple.
Yes. The motion passes. The projects will be recommended for approval to the policy board. Item number 3 on the agenda is the Bismarck-Mandan MPO self-certification, and Stephen will be presenting that today as well.
Thank you, Chair. Give me one moment again. I will share screen. All right. So the Bismarck-Mandan MPO's self-certification, this is something we do every year. It is required by United States Code. MPOs must certify their planning processes are being carried out in accordance with federal law, and that our MTP and TIP are also consistent with these same laws. The self-certification is required every 4 years, but we update it annually as part of our TIP development as a best practice. It just declares MPO compliance with current highway bill legislation. I will note that the most current is a 2022 IJA. The self-certification declares our compliance in 10 different areas, including MPO operations and functions, air quality control standards, Title VI in the Civil Rights Act, the disadvantaged business enterprises, and 5 areas of non-discrimination. I will note that the certification online right now has been updated since packets were sent out, so your exhibit in paper form is not current. We removed some equal employment language in response to Executive Order 11246, which rescinded EEO in federal programs. Otherwise, though, at this time we're kind of standing pat on a lot of this language because the federal titles and programs have not been updated. And so we are declaring compliance with what we have available at this time. Are there any questions?
This is Will. I just had one question. I noted the two references to the EEO language that you guys updated online. I haven't had a chance to look, though. On the last page with the self-certification statement, number 6 is specifically about equal employment opportunity. I just want to make sure you guys caught that one as well.
So we do still have I guess we still have the category for number 6 because the federal register and guidelines for self-cert have not been updated to remove that title. We had kept that in. We had just removed the language that you had referenced and discussed. That was kind of the way we felt would be most kind of balancing, I guess, of the
Sure.
going with the current law until it is officially removed, I suppose. But yeah, I mean that's
Yeah.
kind of where we're at.
I
With that.
understand. Yeah, and of course, just a reminder that this may come before the board again for updates because there's a constantly changing kind of climate around some of these executive orders. So until they're decided by the courts or what process they need to go through to be changed for the CFRs, et cetera, there's a potential you're going to have to look at this again. So just
Yeah,
heads up.
correct. So,
Great
Ben.
observation. Are there any other questions or Ben, please?
Thanks for updating us, Stephen. And Will, this might actually relate to your question or your comment, but I actually had a question for our FHWA partner, particularly related to Section 5, related to disadvantaged business enterprises. Several of us, about a month or so ago, received a letter from USDOT Director Sean Duffy with concerns about diversity, equity, inclusion in our programs. Can you speak to how the DBE program is impacted by that letter or that interpretation that is being made by Sean Duffy?
I haven't heard anything yet. I'd say that we won't in the future. Don't have any information.
Yeah, I echo that. I attended the Minnesota DOT's MPO coordinator call, and they had a update there as well. And really, it's just the EEO and the planning focus areas are the only thing as of now that have been officially kind of do not do. The letter from Duffy kind of stands in contrast to some of what we know is actually happening. So I guess it's like TBD for the time being, unfortunately. Wish I had a better answer, but we don't.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, are there any other questions or comments regarding the self-certification? If not, we would be looking for a motion to recommend approval of the update to the self-certification. Is there such a motion from the board?
This is Jarek. I'll move to recommend approval.
Thank you, Jarek. We have a motion to recommend approval. Is there a second?
It's Deidre, second.
Thank you, Deidre. Roll call, Stephen?
Ben Arith,
Yes.
Deidre Hughes,
Yes.
Gabe Shell,
Yes.
Greg Fazer,
Yes.
Jarek Wigness,
Yes.
John Sackey,
Yes.
Logan Beasy,
Yes.
Mitch Flanagan,
Yes.
Will Hutchins,
Yes.
Chair Ripple.
Yes. Motion passes. Okay, moving on to number 4 on the agenda. It is a 2025 safety policy study. Luke Champo is going to provide this update. Is he on with us?
Hey, Chair Ripple, TAC members, can you hear me all right?
Yes, we can. Thanks, Luke. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, I'll keep it brief, but a couple critical updates here. On Saturday, we had a pop-up event at the Mandan Touch a Truck from, what time was that? Was that 10 to 2? So we were out there for several hours, and there was really good attendance, beautiful weather, and received comments and feedback regarding where people feel unsafe traveling in the Bismarck region. And we got pretty specific with stickers and then comment cards that could be associated with those stickers. So there'll be a lot of good comments to supplement our data analysis. Chair Ripple, do you have any additional feedback from that event? You were there on Saturday.
I was, and it was so busy that we didn't even get a chance to count all of the dots on our maps. So we had four maps displayed out there, and folks were coming in and regularly providing us comments and putting dots all over our maps. So we kind of use those dots as a gauge to measure our attendance, if you would, because it gets a little hard to do that at these open public events. But it looked like it was pretty good. And I know when we were at the April 29th Earth Day Festival, we had basically the same format, and we came away with well over 50 comments provided there. And I think that we've probably exceeded that with the Touch a Truck. So we've had some good public outreach events here in the last month. Thanks for the opportunity, Luke.
You bet. Thanks for sharing. To supplement that, we've been behind the scenes working on the data analysis component of the safety analysis, and I'm just going to share my screen really quickly to give you a heads up about something that you should be seeing this week. This is a web app with our high injury network layers, and then there's comment tools here. So this will be sent out to the MPO and the steering committee for the safety policy study. But we have broken this out as a modal high injury network analysis. And there's several layers which you can click on and off. And there's corridors that are identified specifically where there's a higher or the highest density of severe crashes, which include incapacitating injury crashes and fatal crashes. So there's several high injury network layers here. First being the all modes, so every mode of transportation. Second, there's also motorized, which includes, like, for example, heavy vehicles, along with other motorized modes. And then we split it out even further with passenger vehicles or autos, motorcycle, non-motorized, which includes bicycle and pedestrian. And then those are also split up here. And then it looks like we do have a crash density. I'm going to see if we can throw on the specific point crash point data here. I think that might be a good way to supplement this as well. And then, of course, with most Esri products, you would have the ability to click on specific data. This is going to be pretty coded. So what I'm working on right now is our two memos. One being a crash trend summary memo, and then one also being a high injury network methodology memo, which will shed some insight into what the high injury network means, what some of these fields mean, and how thresholds, because it's essentially a heat map, and there are thresholds set by mode, which is what you're seeing indicated on the screen. So there will be some background information to better understand what's going on here in the data, and then you'll have the opportunity to please, comment on specific locations via, the comment point tool, of course. You can add your comment. There's also a line and polygon tool as well. If I know how to operate this, I'll stop sharing here. So please be on the lookout for this web app, and then a couple critical memos that are analyzing the crash data, and that's going to come to you about 4 weeks in advance of our next steering committee meeting. So they'll have plenty of time, ideally, to take a look at that information, provide some feedback, or ask questions about methodology as we move forward. I think those are the two biggest updates. I think our sub-consultant has been working to coordinate focus group meetings. We've already had the emergency personnel focus group meeting, which was really insightful for our team. And so please expect some summary of public engagement to date at our next steering committee as well, because that'll be an important component of our analysis. Both qualitative, like public comment, and then quantitative through data analysis.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Luke, for the update, and thank you very much for sharing that the web app and giving us a little preview of what we're going to be seeing there. Can you just remind me? I know that we have a steering committee meeting coming up in June. Is it like June 23rd, or do you happen to know that date?
Let me just double check. I think it's the 26th, but let me just double check. Yeah, it's Thursday, June 26th is the date.
All right. Thank you very much, Luke.
You bet.
And I did want to just add that I know Jolene is going to be conducting maybe her final focus group meeting on Wednesday morning at 8:15 in the West Conference Room of the Public Works Building. We will be hosting, the MPO will be hosting a bicycle-friendly community workshop there beginning at 9. And so she's hoping to get a really good contingent of active transportation advocates and representatives from the region, along with perhaps transit users or transit representatives, and maybe a couple of folks from the disabled community. To just kind of converge and talk through a few questions on that focus group item. So I think that will be her final focus group that she'll be conducting. Are there any other questions on the safety policy study to date? Okay. Thank you, Luke. You have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
You bet. Item number 5 on the agenda is a 2025 ITSRA update, and Sherry Jad Hassan is going to provide an update for that.
He's still on.
He's still on?
Sherzad, I think you're muted. I think that's.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Oh, perfect.
Okay.
Sorry about these.
It's
I
a
was having
Monday.
trouble on- I was trying to share my screen, and I'm actually working from home today. I'm a little bit under the weather, and I'm happy that you can hear me. I'll share my screen with a presentation, with your permission, Chair Ripple.
Absolutely. Sorry to hear you're feeling a little under the weather. Hopefully that'll improve.
So this is just a very quick update on. Do you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So yeah, it will be a pretty small update on what we are working on for the regional ITS architecture plan update. We are actually in the very early stages of that, where we collect data from different stakeholders, and therefore that we have done some group meetings, some individual meetings to collect the required data for this update. And this is the task that you have that I have presented in the last TAC meeting in February. So we are very close to the end of this data collection part. And now we are currently working on providing a report update or a report to all the stakeholders to understand if we are missing some critical information, or if we need to add something, or even if we have misinterpreted any of the information. So the stakeholders will have the opportunity to get back to us at this stage before we dive in into any of the inventory changes that's going to take place within the architecture. So, in terms of the update work, we have our first group meetings with the transit group, which was mainly the Bismarck-Mandan Transit Executive Director, on March 12, and there we have identified some of the new software system which will enable some additional functional requirement in the architecture. Additionally, the vehicle tracking system using the tablet will be updated in the information flow, which will actually create the option for any future integration for the transit if they ever want to adopt. On the same day, we also met with our largest group for this project. That was our emergency management group, where we have representation from Barley County Sheriff's Office, CENTCOM, Metro area ambulance, Mandan Fire Department, Highway Patrol, Morton County Emergency Management, and Bismarck Police Department, and as well as we had a representative from FHWA. On the second day, we met with the City of Mandan Engineering Department, Barley County Engineering, and the DOT District Engineering Office. At that time, Dean was with that department, and I understand currently there is a change of role, and Logan Baisi joined that position. So in future, all my communication will go to him. And on that meeting, we also had the Bismarck traffic engineer, from whom we learned about the fiber connection, and we are going to include the how the fiber connection is going to change some of the information flow or the communication flow that's happening with some of the roadside elements. And later on that day, our last group meeting was with the maintenance group, where we had only Barley County and the DOT Bismarck District Office. Since it was not well represented, so we have requested some additional individual meetings to ensure that we have more information that is needed for the maintenance and operation management in the Bismarck area, and we got very positive response from Morton County, City of Bismarck, and City of Mandan Public Work. And from there, we have already identified one of the service package that we are going to propose as a planned service package. So here is on your meeting memo, or on your meeting report, you will see this table where I have identified some of the critical comments or critical changes that we are going to bring. One of the biggest challenges that I'm going to update on these one is the IT data sharing challenges, because after our group meeting sessions, we have done some one more group meeting with Bismarck City Engineering, as well as their IT department. Although the IT department, there will be another IT department meeting which will come in probably around August. So over there, we have identified what are the challenges that Bismarck City IT is facing in terms of with the implementation of new IT rules and all, and that will definitely be identified as in the ITS architecture report. With that, I also want to identify some of the challenges, or some of the changes that is going into, or that we are proposing at this point of time for the Bismarck-Mandan architecture. So currently, there is no change in the user service areas, but we have, as I said, we have identified one new service package, which is the MC09, or Infrastructure Protection Service Package, which will I'll be proposing as a planned one. And since I have talked to some of the I have talked to maintenance group, mainly the Morton County Public Work Public Work Department. So they have identified these MC09 as a uh, probable service package. So I'll put it over there. That will go as planned. With that, one of the planned service package, which was in our last architecture, that will move into existing service package, and that is PT07 or passenger counting service package. Since the use of the Passio tablet, it will allow some driver input. I mean, it's a manual driver input, but we can definitely identify it in the information flow for this architecture. One more service package that will go into the existing service package is the PS02 or the emergency response service package. So with all of those, the new changes will staying with 24 existing service package. The plant status will remain the same since we move one from the plant to existing and bring one from future to the plant. So it will remain 3, and the future status service package would be 5. That's actually all I had as a brief update for this one. If anyone has any question, please feel free to ask now.
Thanks, Sherry Jad. Are there any questions from the TAC for Sherry Jad on the project? I did have one. I just, to be clear, we will be meeting with ITS Group in June. Is that correct?
So, yes, so it will be a communication group meeting, and that will be more. They can connect to the ITS architecture more when they see where are the functional requirements are. Because right now, when I talk to, let's say, Bismarck IT, I felt like they are looking for the final goal, because one of their initial comment was there are lots of information flow which was identified as a future information flow or a proposed information flow. Now, as long as we have those updated, or until we update those using the information that we have collected this year, that may not reflect properly for them to understand where we are going with it. Because once they understand that one, it would be much easier for them to relate to their work, as well as what would be the additional challenges other than what we have identified so far. So yes, there will be another meeting in around August.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Anything else to add on the ITS update? No? All right. Well, Sherry Jad, you just get some rest and feel better. We'll talk to you later. Thank you.
Thank you, Cherry Bill.
Okay, that leads us to our 2025 monitoring report update that Stephen will be providing for us.
Thank you, Kim. Just a very brief update today for you. The MPO has been holding bi-weekly meetings with HDR, our consultant, to review the existing report. We have completed an initial review, and we have set May 28th at 1 p.m. As the date for our monitoring report stakeholder workshop, where we will review the document and collect suggestions for the update from jurisdictional staff. Many of you would be included in the invitation. If you are able to make it either online or in person, we will be in the the David Backstead room on the second floor in person, and we will also have a Teams option. So HDR has also begun to work on an outline for the new document. We should be bringing a more substantial update to everyone in June at our meeting.
Sounds good. Thank you, Stephen. Any questions for Stephen? All right. How about an update on roadway projects through our jurisdictions? I believe Mitch Flanagan is online, and I don't want to neglect to offer him a chance to update us. So why don't we start with you, Mitch? Anything going on in Burleigh County?
Yeah, Chair Ripple, I have no updates for that. I tried to get a hold of Dan. I don't know any place. I have no updates for Burleigh County at this time.
Okay. Thanks, Mitch. Greg, anything for the Lincoln area?
Not too much. We do have some pavement, larger pavement maintenance project coming up this summer. Should start the beginning of June. That is about all we have at this point.
Okay. Thanks, Greg. Jarek, City of Mandan?
We have an Old Red Trail shared use path that is just kicking off, and then our rapid rectangular flashing beacon project also. We just completed a pre-construction meeting on that, but so that should be kicking off soon too.
Okay. And Gabe, City of Bismarck?
Sure, we got a lot of things happening, but federal aid related. We have our South Washington Street project from last year, reconstruction that will still have some permanent pavement markings and some cleanup type items. Our larger one that's locally and state funded, partially with some flex dollars, is the East Century Avenue reconstruction on the east side of town. We have moved traffic onto the roadway up to Stonewall Drive, and then east of Stonewall Drive is now a obliterated roadway, or will be here shortly. So we'll be maintaining access, but on temporary roads until we can get through the first couple of phases here.
All right. Thank you. Logan, North Dakota DOT.
Yes, we got our kind of three big projects, our exit 161, Memorial Highway, and then the interstate reconstruction east of town. Exit 161, these rains haven't been very good for any of these projects, so they're kind of getting a little bit behind, a week or two, but they're going to be building deck and pounding pile. Memorial Highway also lost some time, but they're going to be finishing up some storm sewer, possibly close 21st at the end of the week, depending on how things kind of go here, but and then start storm sewer next week, next Monday. And then the interstate is just there, so plugging away at the interstate.
Okay, thanks. And I don't want to forget about John Psyche. Is he still with us?
Yes, I am. We don't have any construction to report, but the travel is a little bit challenging in certain areas of the county with all this rain. So that's all I have.
You guys have a lot of gravel roadways out in Morton County, don't you?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Well, good luck with all that, and hopefully that rain, even though it's welcome, there is such a thing as too much of a good thing. So hopefully we'll find a balance here soon. Is there any other business that anybody would like to bring before the board? All right, well, I just want to remind everybody that the MPO is going to be hosting its first ever bicycle-friendly community workshop on Wednesday and Thursday of this week. Even though the registration has closed, if you do have the availability in your schedule to join us Wednesday morning from 9 until noon, or Thursday morning from 9 until noon, I would just encourage you to come on down to the Public Works Conference Room, pop in for whatever time you can afford to spend with us, and learn a little bit about the 5 E's of promoting bicycle friendliness in our communities. And then we will be also hosting a bike audit the afternoon of Wednesday, and Bismarck Parks and Recreation District has been good enough to coordinate with us and provide some of their bike share e-bikes and bicycles for that particular event. So we are looking forward to maybe a little lightening of the rain for that event at least, but and yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, I just didn't mean to interrupt. What if you are going to ride your own bike? What is the expectation of when we would be riding and doing things on site on a bicycle?
So the bike audit itself will begin at 1:00 p.m. at 627 West Arbor Avenue, which is the Parks and Rec shop location here in Bismarck. We'll be mobilizing and setting out, and there is a route audit that's been developed. We'll be posting that onto our website and sending that out to any folks who have already registered for the ride and the workshop. But yeah, it's going to take us up through downtown Bismarck, and then west over on Broadway, and kind of north side of Maine towards the Rosa Young Park, and then cut south and cross the river. We're going to head into Mandan. We're looking at about a 7-mile ride, but it should be a good ride taking us down into that Lakewood area, 46th Avenue Southeast, Mackenzie Avenue, and then crossing back over on the Expressway Bridge. So, yeah, if you have a bike and you want to ride, join us at 1 o'clock at the Bismarck Parks shop.
And the other events at Public Works don't require the bike.
Correct.
All right.
Those are classroom situations. So,
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Hope to see everybody there. Additionally, just to follow up on the pavement condition analysis project that we had performed in 2024, while that report was completed and presented in December and January, we did have some outstanding paver training, and this is training that's being presented to our local jurisdictional engineers by QES, the firm that did the pavement analysis for us. So it is a 16-hour training session broken up into 4 4-hour training sessions to complete a tutorial on how to use the paver management system to help assist your pavement management processes. And if there is nothing else, I will call the meeting adjourned. Thank you very much. Have a great rest of your day and week.